Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show, episode number
50.
There we go. Bethany and Sparky here. We've got Apollo today. What is this, Boston Terrier mix?
He's a Boston. No, he's full Boston.
He's a Boston?
Yeah.
All right.
He's just got a very rare color.
Yeah.
You'll see this maybe one in
Look at that face. Look at that face. They just look wild all the time.
He's wild.
All right, so we're going to jump right into our questions. We've got a bunch this week. So, okay, Winnie and Zoe, what are you sniffing? That's, it's not polite to sniff those areas, Okay, there we go. Winnie and Zoe says, I'm going to be introducing my 15-week-old Golden Retriever puppy to a 4-year-old Golden, 9-year-old Lab mix. What's the best way to handle the introduction and time together? Sparky?
I missed the beginning half of it. Hold on. What's the dog's age?
15-week-old puppy, introducing to 2 older puppies. The 9-year-old, it really depends. Is this 9-year-old even playful to other dogs still? And even if he is playful, he may not like puppy energy.
Yeah, a lot of older dogs don't. Just coming from someone that has older dogs and has a lot of friends who just got younger dogs.
And that's okay.
Who assume my dog's going to train their dog. It doesn't work that way.
No, it's not a bad
You still have to
thing.
reinforce a lot of boundaries for the younger puppy. Most of the time, the older dogs will actually come around maybe a little bit to the younger dog if you show them that you're not going to allow the younger dog to invade their space. The younger dog invades their space constantly, and you're going to have a bit of a problem on your hands because the older dogs are going to feel like they have to correct the puppy, which is stressful to an older dog, and that isn't the best way to build a relationship. I know probably you've had other dogs that maybe it has worked for, and I'm actually going away from Winnie and Zoe now. But let's in general,
let's assume that you know that your 5-year-old and your 9-year-old, or your friend's 5-year-old and 9-year-old, are friendly with other dogs. So let's go on the assumption that they're still actively social, they like to play. I would still do some sort of a barrier. So this could be a fence, it could be the puppy in a playpen or crate, and let the older dogs just kind of sniff. And maybe the puppy's nervous, because if the puppy's nervous, you don't want him to be let out and overwhelmed by 2 big dogs. So I would do it one at a time and just see what the puppy's demeanor is and see what the adult dog's demeanor is. Now, when you get to the point where you're like, okay, this looks well, they're both sniffing each other, maybe they're a little excited and they look like they want to play, do not open up the gate or the playpen and just release them when they're excited. You need to calm the dogs down, especially the older dog. If that 5-year-old Golden is like just chomping at the bit, please let the puppy out. It'll scare the puppy, or it'll just be a big free-for-all and it'll be crazy, which you don't want either. So calm the dogs back down. Have the puppy walk out, and don't let them just crash into each other all of a sudden.
But Bethany, how? How do we do that?
A leash. So maybe not on the puppy, but on the 5-year-old and the 9-year-old, I would have them drag a slip leash around. I think that would be really useful, really important, and just see how the puppy does.
Advocate for whichever dog has the lower energy.
Whoever wants it. Whoever wants to be advocated for, advocate. When you start to see the puppy kind of be like, whoa, whoa, and just kind of tinkle maybe, or move away, or cram themselves up against a doorway or something, you need to be like, okay, enough, and walk in and face the adult dogs and push the adult dogs away from the puppy, and then go slower.
It's not sweet to the puppy, it's scary at that point.
Yeah, it's scary.
So you need to advocate for their space, help the bigger dogs back off, and it gives the puppy a chance to build confidence again and be willing to go back to them.
Don't just let them figure it out. And it's the same thing vice versa. If the older dogs start to be like, geez, and a little growling, and maybe they're just really unhappy that a puppy is bouncing on their face, you got to advocate for them too. Show them that the humans aren't just going to let the environment just run amok, okay? That's really the main thing. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
No, I want to read the next one. I want to read it. It's so exciting.
Okay. I forgot that one.
It hits me right in the heart. I love it. My 4-month-old Havanese gets really excited during and after walks. What are some strategies to keep him under threshold?
JW.
Oh, JW. We love you. You're great. One, I keep my dogs on leash when I get home. If I know they tend to have zoomies right when I get home, think of your walk as a mentally stimulating walk. That doesn't mean that you're going to run 10 miles with them. Well, definitely not with the Havanese, which means they still might have an abundance of energy when they get home. Keep them on leash and do a little bit of training with them.
Or even
go to place and help them work through it in a different way and help them settle down. Any owners that come home from Puppy Academy, the biggest thing we get is we took them home, we unleashed them, they did zoomies all around the house and peed. So yeah, it's normal, guys. We do a lot of mental stimulation, but that means they still have physical energy. You just got to help them settle down when they get home by keeping them on leash.
They're like, woohoo, I'm home. My little dog Happy, she used to do that all the time, and I would try to be like, hey, no, settle down, but she ignored me. She was like zoomy mode, bouncing off the couch at that point, and so it was better to show her how I wanted her to enter the home, how I wanted her to behave after a walk, which was with the leash and doing what he said. Same thing in the beginning, excited during and after walks. So how much food redirection are you doing? Because a 4-month-old Havanese Havanese is a little dog, so he really should be having all of his meals, or at least 2 out of 3 of his meals, hand fed to him during work. And so when you start to take that energy and be like, let's go, turn, sit, stay, come, and lots of let's go turns, that's your walk. Not a walk down the street, but you go out and you work your puppy for 15 minutes.
Training walk.
Training, that'll also help. Okay, OG says, my 16-week-old Bernedoodle is digging massive holes under our fence to get to the neighbors. Our doodle does not quite realize the 1-year-old pit bull next door is too big for a play date. Should we let them play? No. How do we get them? No. I mean, if the neighbors...
Don't sugarcoat that one, Bethany.
I mean, if the neighbors want to, you could do some neutral territory and try it, but it doesn't sound like it. I mean, that's really up to you, but you should not just let them hang out when they want. It's not like Instagram where you have the cute golden retriever jumping over the fence to visit the other golden retriever during the day. That's Instagram land, okay? How do we get them?
We're in Instagram land right now.
Sorry, we love you, Instagram. How do we get them to stop digging holes under the fence? Our dog is small enough that she'll soon fit under the fence if the digging continues. OG and MD. All right, 16-week-old Bernedoodle. So, okay.
She's trying to make this sound nice.
Oh, sorry. Do you like that? Okay, here we go. First of all, I got 2 things. First of all, grew up on a farm, outdoor dogs. I have no issues with outdoor dogs. I have no issues with dogs spending time outside during the day, fenced in, even if you're not supervised, okay? So that's gonna shock some of you out there. I really have no problems with it if it's a large enough breed dog where it is safe for them to spend time outside, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if that's what you're gonna do, then you need to have proper fencing for your dog to be able to do that. And if you can't, which means usually it's like chicken wire under, like you have to have it put in, and this is common. If you have dogs that spend time in the yard all day, it is very common to have a layer of chicken wire underground put in under the fence. Or, sometimes people do the electronic fences, but that's a no for puppies. And so still, you'd have to do number 2, which is you don't give puppies the freedom to make all of those bad decisions where they become ingrained habits that you can't hardly come back from. So if I'm being totally honest, my honest opinion is puppies under 6 months old, maybe 5 months for large breed dogs, shouldn't have freedom outside. Okay.
To make those decisions.
So just so you guys know, like even when people get livestock guardian dogs, for instance, they're crate training them, or they stay on a property where there are lots of other dogs to show them the ropes until they're old enough and big enough to be outside on their own and know the rules. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but do you have anything to add to that?
Keep them on leash if you take them out there, especially if they're digging. You don't want the digging.
Yeah.
Puppy-proof the yard if you're okay with them being in the backyard, if so. And if you don't have time to be out there in the backyard with them on a leash, then don't give them free access to be out there on a leash.
Bingo.
Easy.
Sorry, I know that that's probably not what you were looking for. There's no magic treat or correction to stop what you're dealing with.
Nope. Because we don't believe in electric fences for young puppies. That's why.
Right, exactly.
And that's what your vet will usually recommend.
Mr. Teddy. Hello, it's me again. Well, hi, Mr. Teddy.
Well, hello there, sir.
Now 11-month-old so you asked.
Control your dog.
You asked for that. Here, you take over. My back is hurting. Okay, I played softball. All right, it's me again, 11-month-old mini cockapoo. When I escaped from I'm the dog. Okay. When I escaped from my parents in the off-leash park, once I was outside the fence, I had too much fun and I just kept running. How do they catch me? Okay, all right.
Hey, Ricky, I have a dog for you.
Or you have no tolerance. You know that? If you're not like in training mode, no patience.
I'm a dog trainer.
You have no patience. Okay. It only happened once, but it really scared them. Obviously, that is a really scary thing to lose your dog. Another dog came along, luckily. Thanks for your advice. All right. So, man, I'm like mean today. If you do not
Take it out on them and not me.
Oh no, I still got plenty saved for you later.
Yeah.
I have like a checklist. Okay, so this is gonna sound really mean, I'm sorry. But if you cannot recall your off-leash dog, they shouldn't be off-leash. However, I know that he was in a fenced-in area, and I totally understand that. So I kind of said that more for other people because that's a really common question when people just go for a hike. So sorry, Mr. Teddy, I didn't specifically mean your parents because I know you were in a leashed area. But I have
parents.
Stop it right now. Stop it. So what I would suggest is you really work on your long leash recall. You go to the dog park less because you can't take food into a dog park. People do. It's a bad idea. A lot of times there's even signs. Don't do it.
My father did it. He got attacked.
Oh yeah, it's a really bad idea. So go to the park more often than the dog park and work on a 20 to 30 foot long line and work on your recalls, okay? And then when you're in the dog park, I want you, no food, but I want you to practice. Come, sit, good boy, leash up, leash off, break, let them go play again. So that way they don't have this association with every time you call them to you in the park in a fenced-in area. You're gonna leash them up and it means go home. Do that 5 to 10 times every time you do go to a fenced-in park. But at the end of the day, that was a really bad thing that happened to happen, and hopefully it'll never happen again. But my thing is, if I imagine a dog digging under a fence, I want to have enough value as an owner to be able to be like, hey, no, hey, Mr. Teddy, no, and Mr. Teddy stop what he's doing and kind of look at me, and me be able to go, good boy, Teddy, come, and him choose to come to me. That's what your goal is. That's what you need to practice, all the repetitions of recall work off of distractions and things like that. And then you need to have a valuable enough no in your home where that will have value in the outside world. So that would be my suggestion. Can we move on, or do you have something to add?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Short ones? You can do some short ones?
Shorties. Cassidy Pop. Pape. I don't know. Can your tips work on a 2-year-old plus dog?
Absolutely.
They can. Sometimes they just need a little bit more firmness because a 2-year plus dog, they're going to need a little bit more of a push.
Yep.
In the right direction.
Yep.
All right. Claudes, 4-month-old puppy, happy in crate at night, but hates during daytime. Okay, napping an X-Pen in different room. At night, but hates during day. Super normal, especially if you're introducing it. A big thing that we recommend to people is do a longer amount of time in the crate, shorter amount of time out of the crate. And if your puppy's coming out of the crate and just going right to sleep, that's not what you want. That means they're learning to sleep outside, bark and whine in the crate. So make them move, make them work, do training, do walking,
when
do
they're out.
controlled play. Yes, thank you. When they're out. And if you put them in the playpen for our supervised separation time and they instantly go to sleep,
crate.
They're done. Crate, boom, they're done. It's usually for them to exist around you in the playpen or like on a tether or back tie and learn how to exist without having access to you. So if they're waking, just kind of sitting there and checking everything out, that's what it's for. You put them back in the playpen if they go to sleep, or excuse me, in the crate when they go to sleep, that means they are eventually going to learn how to sleep in the crate and it becomes a positive association.
If you have a small breed dog, sometimes they might be okay in an X-Pen in a different room. But if you have a large breed dog, they're going to eventually push over that X-Pen very quickly, and you're going to wish you had stuck to your guns with crate in the beginning. So,
I'm just not a fan of X-Pen. I don't know why.
What?
I feel like I have a lot of small dogs that learn how to scale the X-Pen.
Oh,
like can literally learn how to climb it.
You have to get a specific
very
type.
common.
You have to get a specific type.
Yeah, with the straight bars.
Yeah, and I like the wire ones are harder for them. They slide.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
We have all these. We have endless tips and tricks.
I gave advice one time to put one of those like pool tube things on the outside of it, and dog would jump and bite it and hold on and just hang from it, and then let it go. And then
is it a terrier? Is it like a Jack Russell Terrier or something?
It's actually a Boston.
A Boston Terrier. Boston Terrier. Thank
terrier
you.
Is the key phrase on that.
Thank you, Terrier.
All right, Gary the Mini Dude. I love him.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is a return person. Oh, you got 3 questions on here. All right, we're going to get one of the 3, and then we'll come back and answer the other ones. How do you train puppy who's not food or toy motivated? Bethany, go.
Okay, let's assume that the puppy is under 4 months old. So my puppy doesn't eat if he doesn't work. And so let's assume your puppy is a very healthy weight. And when I offer food to my puppy in the morning and do a little bit of super easy, puppy, come take food. If that puppy isn't interested in eating, then I wait till the afternoon. It's not like I'm not feeding my puppy. I'm just waiting till he's hungry enough to take it from my hand.
So she's saving the meal. She's saving the breakfast for lunch, the lunch for dinner,
or
until
tossing
the dog
it.
is motivated enough to eat it.
If it's wet food, I'm tossing it. But
I mean, you're not giving it to them, right? You're not giving the dog food until the dog is motivated enough to work for the food.
Right.
And this is how you build food drive.
Right, exactly. And honestly, that's it. Now, when I was a kid, just so you know, I did train dogs without food because we didn't use food very often. And it was all through physical, which is probably why I'm pretty good with physical dog training, but it was all through physicality. And it's much harder. It takes much longer, much more effort. It's exhausting.
Can you explain that physicality?
Well, yeah, like truly to teach a puppy to sit, we would very delicate. I mean, we were gentle, we weren't harsh, but you would do, even to a young puppy, leash pressure up, and we would do like a teeter, like neck up, butt down, which I still might do occasionally, but the puppies already learned sit, so they get it. But they would literally, that's how we learned everything, and it was much harder, and honestly, harder for the puppy as well. I do think they had to problem solve better, which had its
and how did you raise your puppies back then? Because it's very different now from how they used to raise puppies
so 8
years ago.
And it's also in a farming type environment, very rural. The vast majority of people I grew up with, their dogs were outside dogs. So when we did see the puppies, and they were so excited to see us because we weren't like around all day too. So there's a lot of...
They were more willing to work for it.
They were more willing to work for it. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. But the other point is just that you can get your puppy to work for food. And I would like to throw out something I really, really love. It's not cheap, I'm sorry, but it's called real meat dog food. And they're little bits of jerky. And sometimes that can be really, really good. I know it's not puppy food, so you might need more protein added in, but that can be a really good way to kind of get over the hump. Mm-hmm. They have treats too, but the dog food is great. So anyway, there's a little trick for you.
I didn't know they made dog food. I thought it was all treats.
Yeah, no, it's dog food. We just buy the dog food because it's healthier than the treats. They're like 2-pound bags. It's just not cheap. Okay. Let's see. Cassie says, any tips for potty training a 9-week-old puppy when the weather is horrible?
Sorry, that was from last week.
That was from last week.
These are her updates.
Did we ever answer that one?
Oh, yeah, we did answer that one. Where were you? Oh, you weren't here. No, you were here.
I wasn't here.
You were alone last week.
I was alone. I didn't need him.
We had a doctor's appointment.
Okay. We had a doctor's appointment? No, we over there. Okay. Thank you for tips. Okay, so she asked last week, and Ricky timestamps all of these. So you can go last week and see the question about potty training with horrible weather. These are the updates. Thank you for your tips. I bought a grass square. I was worried it might mess up to use. It might
mess him up
to use it. We take him outside in his potty spot. He'll go sometimes not. We give him lots of time, 10 minutes. There's a problem. Yay. Problems are good. No problem. Problems are good. I can fix them. Okay. Then we come in and he poops and pees on the floor. Also, other times he goes pees outside. Within 20 minutes, he pees on the floor. Well, that's normal. He's a puppy. Sorry. He seems to just not really care where he goes. Okay.
He's a puppy. It's normal.
Yeah. So it's really normal. So you're not creating any urgency. So I used to work in sales, and they were like, you would sell something, and you'd be like, and you want one, and you want one, and you want one, and everyone's just like, no. So you have to create urgency. It only takes like one hand up, and then all the hands go up. It's got to be fast. 10 minutes is not fast. 10 minutes is like half of a walk, okay? So you go out
I'd pull up a chair if I was out there for 10 minutes.
Yeah. You go out there for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Puppy doesn't potty, back and crate for 10 to 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And their stomach settles, and then they're much more likely to go. Because you gotta imagine they're so distracted when they go out. And they're thinking about, why is it so cold? Why is it so this? Why is it so that? And so anyway, hopefully maybe the grassy patch is on like a patio or under the garage patio, something like that, so it's not out. But anyway, hopefully those little tips will help. I know it's a lot more work, but it's literally about 2-3 minutes. back in crate.
And that's not playpen. Back in playpen, it's back in crate because that's to be small.
Yeah, big enough, only big enough for your puppy to
full circle down.
Yep, and stretch a little, and that's it. And you do that till the puppy potties. Will you maybe get a crate accident? Yes, but this is how you're learning to figure it out. Make sure you're controlling water intake, food intake, all of those things.
The water intake's the biggest one too. Give a controlled amount. What's the amount? It's a half cup for every 2 to 3 hours for a dog that's anywhere between 20 and 30 pounds. So if your dog is a puppy and it's 10 pounds, do the math.
Yep.
It's a lot less water.
And comes inside and pees within 20 minutes. If a puppy is free roaming, like moving around, that's pretty normal. If they just had water when they came out of crate and then they potty outside, 20 minutes. We see, if you're playing with your puppy, we see 10 minutes under 14, 15 weeks old.
After every large play session, we automatically give a potty opportunity or a potty break or opportunity. Otherwise, they're probably gonna have an accident, especially off leash. They'll kind of roam off. They'll do a couple circles, some sniffing. Look for those moments. Get them outside.
Yep, exactly. All right, Callie says, hiya. Oh, I like that, hiya. That sounds fun. All right, I just saw your latest YouTube video. Oh yeah, we have a YouTube people, in case you don't know it, all right? And we get to like just unhinged all the information we want to say. Okay, anyway, I have 10-week-old puppy cockapoo, jumps up, excited, nips at people, 10 weeks old. So this is a baby. Okay, I try to redirect to a chew toy. I say no when he bites. Leaving my hand there till he calms down. Oh, that's good. It's good. It's the reason I say that that's good is when your puppy bites you, I know it's uncomfortable, but if you're like, it actually makes it more fun.
Amps them up.
Yeah, so if you just kind of make a fist and freeze and they get bored and kind of drop off, then you redirect them. That's the way to go for such a young puppy. If you have any tips to stop the biting when overexcited, schedules, routines for a puppy this age, I don't think he's napping enough. Okay, so Callie, direct message us and we'll provide you with our starter schedule. It has it's based around potty training, but you can tweak it for how your puppy is doing. And then as far as the biting when meeting people, you need to give people food instead of hands, because anytime a hand comes for the face, the ears, anything like that, I don't know if you saw the puppy we had earlier, but I'm pretty sure when I touched his face, he immediately started biting my finger and then biting the paper. So anything in the face, that's what they're gonna do. And what do most guests do when they meet a new puppy? So give them a piece of food. Coach how you want people to interact with your puppy when they come in the house. First they ignore, then you give them a piece of food, then they say sit, then they squat down, give the puppy food and scratch the shoulder, chest area. If the puppy's getting too excited, instead of trying to say no and redirecting with a toy, just say let's go, not let's go, let's go. Good puppy, guide them away with a leash. Calm them down.
So that means you want a leash on for the entire process.
Oh yeah.
And if I have my guests working with my puppy, they're probably not going to be this sit, good treat. They're sit. So you're guiding the dog back, slowing them down a little bit, coaching them through. Say it one time. Remember, Sparky and Bethany said one time up, good, pause, treat. And you're helping the dog by creating a little bit of leash pressure. When the dog settles in that sit, release the leash pressure. So dog learns to not oppose the leash, it learns to work with the leash.
The big thing is for me, and I know this is hard for owners to do, but do it anyway if you want your dog to behave, which is get your puppy listening to you and taking food from you when you have guests before they get to care about the guests. That's
some of the best dogs I've ever seen when people enter the house. When I do at-home private lessons is I enter the house and the dog's staring at the owner, waiting for its treat. That's conditioning. That took a long time for them to do, and that's multiple meals a day of them training the dog to do it.
And let me just challenge all of you all y'all out there to stop letting people associate themselves with only excitement in front of your dog, where your dog just perceives their whole world as excitement.
So that means if you have that one family member or guest or friend that comes over just for the puppy, stop inviting them. Or be like, you know what? She just gets so excited when you're here. I'm just going to put her in crate and you can hang out with me. And then you'll see who your friends are. Okay, Lisa, we're getting a Rhodesian Ridgeback, 9 weeks old. Oh my God, I love this breed. They're the lion hunters. Okay, should we hold her on our lap while on the couch? Or does that encourage bad behavior? What is it?
Hopefully I don't have to answer that judging by how you heard me read that sentence. No, I'm not done. Is it okay to let the puppy nap on us?
No.
You guys are getting a Rhodesian.
Questions.
You're getting a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Okay.
Ricky's
okay,
like, say these are good questions.
I'm sorry. These are good questions. Okay.
Because every owner
I'm ready.
does this.
I'm ready. I've had.
It's true. Every owner does do this.
Wait. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet, people. I am picking on you. I'm sorry. I'm using you as an example for the entire world. Okay. I've had dogs with separation anxiety in the past. And I know that I'm not sure if it's, all right. I'm not sure if it's because I was snuggling and coddling the dog. Really? You're not sure? Thank you, Lisa. Okay, Lisa. Girl.
You just opened the gate for her.
Girl, I mean, you said everything you needed to say of what not to do. I mean, just to be totally honest with you, we have this online program, and if you go to thepuppyacademy.com and you go to the online section, you need this.
We can help you.
We can help you, or just right now, go ahead and start researching one-on-one trainers to come to your home once a week for 2 months.
Balanced dog training.
Balanced dog training, 6 to 8 sessions. You want to get on it right away. The reason I say that, I promise I'm not trying to pick on you. I mean, we kind of overdo stuff here because we try to be a little entertaining, so I hope you don't feel like I was mean. But I was a little. But it's because it's what our boss said, is that these questions are really, really common. It's one of the reasons why you've had some separation anxiety issues with dogs in the past. A Rhodesian Ridgeback, these dogs are bred to be fierce dogs, like loving family dogs, but fierce dogs. And if you live with them on top of you in any situation, couch, bed, anything, when that dog goes after a rabbit, you will have no influence over this dog's behavior.
You're going after the rabbit too because it's pulling you too.
Yeah, well, it's a Rhodesian Ridgeback. If it's full grown, it's pulled out of her hand and she's bit the dirt.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and so that's why we were making the faces, is because it's like I don't see a 9-week-old Rhodesian. I see 90-pound 2-year-old Rhodesian in my head, because we don't train puppies. We train them to be adult dogs. It's your job the first 2 years of life to not coddle them, to not be their companion. You have to raise them first. You've got 2 years to raise a puppy to be the companion you want them to be as an adult dog.
I like that.
So if you look at it that way, it should change your whole perspective on what to do when you get this puppy. Leadership, guidance, structure, food work, exercise, all of those things, it's like a job. You have a job now. And then when the puppy gets through adolescence and is an adult dog, then you get to have the companion you've worked so hard for. And maybe he can be on the couch. Maybe he can spend some time on the bed, permission-based only, things like that. But you don't want to, when you give this puppy complete access to your boundaries, your person, all of that, you're completely taking away any ability of this puppy to trust you to control their environment. There's no respect. You won't be able to influence this dog's behavior whatsoever. You will just have a dog that trusts you to love them. And that's it. And to me personally, that's a shallow relationship. Me personally, that's my opinion. That's his opinion too. There's so much more to owning a dog. Do you have anything else to say?
Yes, that is my opinion too.
That's his opinion too, and that's the way it is.
I just want to go over one more from our short one. It's a really
Lisa,
quick one. I know we're over time already.
Hopefully, Lisa, that helps you. Feel free to come back next week, and I won't be as mean, I swear. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And Gary the Mini Dude, sorry, throw these on for next week, or we'll save them. We'll enter them next week.
Yeah, we have plenty.
I know. I'm just saying, we got 2 more from him. Just want to.
Okay.
We'll get back to you next week.
Okay.
This is from Romeo the Husky. Romeo pees on all blankets put in playpen, even though we go potty every 3 hours. Any advice?
Not uncommon.
Yeah, I would say that he just has a habit now.
Yep.
Even if he goes potty every 3 hours, and I know that's actually a conversation I had with you guys already, that just means that he's probably done it a couple times and now it's a habit. Yep. Remove the blankets. And our recommendation is you actually go on Amazon, get a rubber mat They're pretty inexpensive, 30, 40 bucks. They're a really thin layer. They have a little lip on the edge. Make sure you put it in a big square, put the playpen over it, but don't let the playpen go over the edges so they can grab a piece and pull it.
Right.
And then if he does have a little accent, at least he'll collect it. But most time, if it's boring for him to chew and he can't get a grip on it, he'll give up pretty quick.
Same in the crate. I would go ahead and just pull blankets in the crate
I make
too.
the crate pretty Spartan until I know my dog isn't having any issues with potting or chewing.
Yeah.
And then as they get older, that's when I'll start adding in maybe a bed if they need it. I got a shepherd and she's got 3 coats of fur. She'll never need a blanket, but I also have a pitty who my girlfriend and I put a blanket every single day.
But here's the thing, if I worked with your pitty and she had the same issues,
I would pull it.
I'm like, okay, for 3 months, I know it sucks being on a hard bottom, but we're gonna pull everything for 3 months and then hopefully be able to add it back in.
It's a safety hazard too.
Yeah.
Chews up a bunch of blankets, eats it, or even potty isn't a safety hazard, but that's a problem for us because that means you clean blankets every day.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sorry we couldn't get to all of your questions, but I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll
We had
see
like
you.
9 pages of questions today.
We will do the next
Okay,
week,
we'll get
so
to it.
please come back, same time, same place. Bye.
See you guys.